What if you were lied to about your parent? I want to talk to you today about the truth about cutting off a parent and also healing. I want to explore a complex and often very painful journey that we face when we start to uncover the truth about our past and the impact of a family dynamic known as parental alienation. So, I want to dive into the specific challenges that adult kids encounter, as well as the healing process and the potential for personal growth that can emerge from this very difficult experience. When we understand this issue more deeply, we can better support each other and also children in this family dynamic on their path forward towards reconciliation and really transformation in your individual lives. So, I want to explore the concept of a family dynamic known in urban language as parental alienation. And alienation is where one parent or another adult interferes with the relationship of the child and another parent. And you oftentimes, as a child, will cut that parent, the rejected parent, off. And you may believe things about that parent that help you justify the cutoff. And a lot of times we get contacted by adult children that feel this disconnect or unexplained emotion towards that parent. And there's a key aspect that a lot of these kids that become adults, and this was me as well, start to feel is this unexplained void or this guilt about rejecting that parent without really fully understanding the reason behind these feelings. And another common experience is noticing a pattern of one sided narratives from your childhood. So, where one parent was consistently portrayed in a negative light. And this can lead to you questioning your own emotions, maybe the fear or the anger or the hostility towards a parent without clear personal experiences to justify these feelings. And sometimes things happen and you cut off a parent and you reinforce that belief throughout your entire childhood and maybe many years or decades into your adult life. So, the aim here is to help you recognize and understand a phenomenon that is known as alienation, which can be very complex and confusing for many people. Now, alienation is not a diagnosable pathology. It's what happens when one parent influences their children as minors or adults to cut off and completely eliminate the other parent from their life. And so I want to talk more about that today and then what you can do about it as an adult child. So stick with me. So, as adults, many of us begin to reflect back on our childhood and our memories and our experiences. And we start to question whether the negative stories that we were told about one parent was actually influenced or manipulated by the other parent. And we start to notice inconsistencies between what we were told about the rejected parent and what we now see or hear about them as adults. And there's a growing realization that we were influenced to hate or reject a parent that we once loved, and often without fully understanding why at the time. And it can be really difficult and an emotional process of uncovering the truth about our childhood experiences. So, the goal is to try to separate the facts from the fiction and to gain a more balanced perspective of your family relationships because mom is always mom and dad is always dad, despite their shortcomings and maybe even pathology. And as we have seen, adult children often face significant life challenges as a result of their childhood experiences. And these can include trust issues, low self esteem, and difficulty forming healthy relationships. And a key part of healing or the process of healing is really understanding that by rejecting one of your parents, you were, in a sense, rejecting part of yourself. And this realization can be very profound and also painful. And it is crucial to step towards self acceptance and moving forward in your life. It's not okay to stay stuck because you are internalizing this and it impacts you and your mental health and well being. So, I want to explore the internal conflict of self hatred and the loss of identity that can result from experiencing alienation. So, alienation can lead to you disowning traits or aspects that your heritage of one side of your family has experienced, tied to that rejected parent, causing deep internal conflict. And so, this self rejection can manifest as shame and guilt and a fractured sense of identity, making it so difficult for you as an individual to recognize or have a clear sense of yourself. And this damaging cycle of self reflection can impact every area of your adult life. And when you start to recognize this pattern, this is a crucial first step towards breaking free from it. So it's important to really understand that this profound psychological toll of experiencing a cutoff from a parent and the need for compassion and support in really helping you overcome this challenge is mission critical. So it's not enough to just try to process this alone. Having a compassionate support system can help you overcome these challenges quickly. So, we want to look at some of the common life relationship challenges that many adult children of this family dynamic face. And the first challenge is trust. We oftentimes have difficulty forming trusting, healthy relationships due to the fear of abandonment or betrayal from past experiences. And then the second challenge is the emotional struggle. So, patterns of anxiety and depression and self sabotage that are all often rooted in unresolved childhood trauma. And the third challenge is intimacy problems, struggles with being vulnerable or intimate with other people, and often repeating negative cycles from our own families. And these are all very common issues that can significantly impact your ability to form and maintain fulfilling relationships. So, when we understand and address these challenges, this is an important step towards your personal growth and healthier connections in your life. And as we think about the hidden influences of a manipulating parent, I want to help you understand the idea that a parent that we're bonded to may be psychologically abusing you, and this can unconsciously shape your worldview. And so unconscious shaping highlights how you as a child may not have realized at the time that your beloved parents actions, the parent that you were allied with, were actually a form of psychological abuse and subtly molding your perspective. And childhood manipulation, when we acknowledge that you as a child didn't know that you were being manipulated as you were growing up. And when you have the adult realization and you become aware, right? You're coming to terms with the fact that your perception of reality was distorted from a young age due to the influence of one of your parents can be very challenging as an adult. And it's understanding the hidden and long lasting impact of manipulation that it can have on you and even into your adulthood without you even fully realizing it at the time. And it's important to give yourself compassion and understanding because you were a child. And this is a very complex issue that can have lasting impacts on you as an adult and also all of your relationships. So, accepting that the rejected parent's perception was distorted, even though that can be really difficult. And as adult children who have to confront the painful reality that you were used as a tool in your parents' conflict. And this realization can bring up really strong emotions like guilt and anger and betrayal. And you've got to work through those things. And it's crucial for you to acknowledge that these difficult feelings are going to be present or maybe even present now. And you need to acknowledge them in order to move forward and heal. And shame and guilt are some of the most are the most debilitating emotions in the human condition. And most people try to suppress them, and especially children of this family dynamic. And it's really important to understand that you've got to allow that to come up and out of your body. Most most adult kids that I work with realize that their mind and their body are disconnected. So we want to drop in and feel those emotions all the way through, allowing you to alchemize them. So, breaking the loyalty bind can be very challenging, but it's an important part of your healing process. And the first step is letting go and releasing the need to protect or defend the allied parent. So, their narrative, you don't need to protect their narrative and you don't need to eliminate them. This allows you to move beyond the limiting perspective of one person. And then creating that space is you're making room for your own feelings towards your rejected parent to actually emerge rather than suppressing them or being allied by one narrative. And embracing the complexity involves accepting that both parents can have flaws and strengths and moving beyond the black and white thinking about your family dynamics. And so this is about integration, not elimination. And a lot of people that I work with think that when they discover this, there's all this internal like turmoil that's going on, and you feel like you have to reject the parent that you're allied with. And you don't have to reject that parent. You can reject the narrative and still stay integrated with that parent. So it's about integrating both sides of your lineage, bringing both sides of your family into your consciousness. And you get to decide what traits do you want to keep and which ones do you want to let go of. So you're breaking free from the loyalty bind. And it's nuanced, right? It's not all or nothing. And healing from the trauma of your unhealed parents is a deeply personal journey. And it's important to seek support. And some people use therapy, which can provide a safe space to work through some of those complex emotions and unpack the impact of the family dynamic. And support groups for adult kids of this family dynamic, there's lots of them out there. They can offer a sense of community to share experiences and coping strategies and feel less alone. But be very mindful because a lot of the online groups have a lot of people complaining and a lot of people encouraging emotional cutoffs and cutting off parents and all. And while you may be in a no contact period, no contact is giving yourself the protection that you needed as a child and didn't have. But that's not where the healing happens. That's not healing. During that protection, you can create that space for yourself so that you can reconcile and integrate and heal. But the healing happens within you and doing the work. Family, understanding your family's perspective and talking to a friend and siblings or other relatives who knew both parents can actually provide a broader perspective and understanding as well. Working with somebody like me, a coach who's been through a similar experience, can offer invaluable guidance for building resilience and cultivating healthy relationships. And that's the name of my game. I work with both parents and children. And I'm not saying you have to reunite with a parent. However, you've got to reunite with yourself first, even if you're thinking about reuniting with a parent. So the key is to surround yourself with a network of support to really help you navigate the challenging process of healing after this family dynamic. There's absolutely no reason to go it alone. As children, we often don't fully understand the complex dynamics at play in our families. So it's important to forgive our younger selves for not knowing better and letting go of that guilt or alchemizing the guilt over past actions or decisions. This is so crucial for your healing process. And we were victims of circumstances beyond our control. And our current awareness and growth, these are signs of progress, not reasons to dwell on our past mistakes. And you want to embrace this progress as evidence of your healing journey and give yourself compassion. And I always say, give yourself the same compassion, love, and understanding that you would give a close friend. And I want to explore the process of forgiveness for adult children who've experienced this family dynamic, the cutoff of one or maybe even both of your parents. And as children, when we understand our allied parents' behavior as we become adults as a flawed coping mechanism rather than a reflection of their worth, then This insight, while not excusing the harm done, can aid in the healing process. And I just want to emphasize the importance of letting go of the anger, allowing yourself to bring that through in order to reclaim your personal peace. Anger, in this family dynamic especially, is often an unprocessed grief response. And if you unjustifiably or even justifiably, if you've cut off a parent, you're grieving the loss of that relationship. And we oftentimes get angry about it because either the parent we cut off was acting out, they were abusive, and we're angry because we still love that parent. We want the abuse to stop. And so we're grieving. And this is not about excusing or forgetting the past. It's about freeing yourself from the emotional grip through the process of release. And so it's important to recognize that an allied parent's actions, that was the result of their own issues, their own unresolved childhood stuff, and that you, the adult, your self-worth is not defined by those actions. And forgiveness allows you to move forward. So forgiveness is not about forgetting. Forgiveness is not about inviting people into your life to continue to harm you. Forgiveness is about not allowing them to live rent free in your mind and in your body, in your nervous system anymore. And forgiving the rejected parent. So, I want to talk about this parent as well. And there are three key steps here in the process of forgiving. Accepting imperfections. You're going to recognize that the rejected parent may have flaws, may have many flaws, but they didn't deserve total rejection. And so when we acknowledge that, we free ourselves and we also free them. And having an open heart allows the possibility of rebuilding the bond. Okay. You have to first open your heart and seeing the humility, understanding that the rejected parent is a complex human being as well. And we have to understand that the process of forgiveness is not about forgetting or excusing past behavior. It's about freeing yourself from the burden of resentment and opening up to new possibilities. And I just want to emphasize the importance of this journey of forgiveness and how it can actually lead to your own personal growth and healing and sovereignty, even in the most challenging of family relationships. And I've walked this path in my own personal healing journey, in creating the companies that I've created and all the programs that I've created to help people heal, and also the thousands of parents and children. I've walked through a beautiful process of this deeper healing work and creating that sovereignty for yourself. And while you can't change what's happened in the past and you can't fix what's happened in the past and you can't fix the people in your past, the parents, you aren't responsible for the actions of others. You are, however, responsible for your own healing journey and your own work. And as we are reuniting with rejected parents, people call me all the time and they're like, wow, I watched a bunch of your videos and I realized I was alienated from my dad or my mom. And I don't know how to reach out. And it's been so long, maybe decades. And I don't know how to reach out. And I don't know if I want to. And I don't know how they're going to be when I reach out. And so I haven't reached out. And I still have a relationship with my allied parent or my alienating parent, and I love them. And I'm having a hard time. And I keep going through my own data loop. Did this happen? Did it not happen? Looking for reasons to justify my behavior. And that's so common. Don't beat yourself up. And here's what I know. When you start to reunite with the half of your lineage that you cut off for good, bad, or indifferent, whatever reasons, that is still half of who you are. The first part is to initiate contact and perhaps through a letter or a phone call, expressing your curiosity and openness to connect. It's important to manage your expectations. There may be some initial awkwardness or emotional distance. Just understand that healing takes time, and repair in a relationship that's been breached for a long period of time is going to take time. And the key is to take things slowly and allow the relationship to develop naturally without forcing immediate closeness. Gradual progress is the goal. And give yourself the space to approach the process with patience and kindness and understanding and taking those small steps forward as you rebuild the connection. And it starts with healing on you, your internal healing process first. When you do that, it makes it a lot easier to create the space for you to fold back in with the rejected parent. And they might not be great when you show up. They may be angry. They also have unprocessed, unhealed grief. So don't take that personally. Rebuilding trust with a rejected parent is part of the healing process, and honest communication, this is crucial for sharing feelings about the past without blame and focusing on personal experiences and emotions and having the opportunity to listen openly, hearing what the parent's perspective is without judgment is challenging, but also possible. And doing this with an open heart and an open mind and trying to understand their side of the story. So the goal is for mutual understanding and working together to build a new relationship based on mutual respect and understanding of past hurts. And these three elements, honest communication, open listening, and mutual understanding, form the foundation for repairing the relationship. And this comes after doing the repair and the healing work within your own consciousness for yourself, right? So it always starts with you. And spending quality time together can actually help you rediscover your shared interest and create new positive memories. So you want to focus on the present and accept your parents as they are here and now, while also acknowledging that they are experiencing pain from the past as well. And this allows that unconditional love to replace that old resentment. And building these shared experiences with unconditional love can be very powerful and healing for your relationship. And it needs to be led by you because you are the one choosing to do the reunification work. And for the parents listening, I know this might be frustrating, but it's really important to understand that you have to let the adult child lead the reunification process. And as we explore the concept of radical acceptance and unconditional love, and how this really starts with loving ourself first. And the key is embracing all parts of yourself, even those aspects that may be tied to the rejected or troubled parent, or maybe the allied parent. We need to accept ourselves fully. And self compassion is crucial in practicing kindness and understanding towards yourself rather than having that harsh self criticism. And healing that self hatred is a major part of this process. And we need to address and heal the wounds of our self rejection in order to truly love ourselves. And the journey of self love and self acceptance is the foundation for healing and for building healthier relationships with lots of other people. So, not just the parent, but also all of your relationships. And unconditional love means offering love to a parent without conditions, despite their flaws or past actions. And this doesn't mean excusing harmful behavior, it means choosing to love them as they are. And we may need to let go of expectations for apologies or perfect resolutions. Healing can still occur even without those elements. And viewing our parents with compassion, recognizing their humanity and potential for growth, can help us develop a more understanding perspective. Extending love to others, even in difficult relationships, can be absolutely transformative. And it takes immense courage, but has the power to actually heal and create amends. And the core here is really about how you, as an adult child of this family dynamic, can integrate the lessons of your past to build a stronger and more authentic identity for the present and the future. And this is really about acknowledging all parts of your history, even the painful experiences of alienation or emotional cutoffs or estrangement, or even pathogenic parenting if you have a narcissistic borderline parent. So, this allows you to use your experiences to develop resilience. And Then it's also about how the newfound understanding enables you to really build healthier relationships based on truth and mutual respect. And this often involves breaking cycles of pathogenic parenting, alienation, estrangement within your own family. So the idea here is that integrating the lessons from our past can actually move us forward and foster open, healthy communication in all of our relationships. And finding purpose in the struggle is so powerful because the greater the struggle, the greater the gift. And the struggle, when we look at it as a gift, it allows us to grow. And there are three key ways that struggle can be a catalyst for our growth. Pain is a catalyst, seeing pain as an opportunity for self discovery and building resilience, building empathy. So, overcoming alienation helps develop empathy for other people. And then developing strength, using our difficult experiences to build inner strength and inner wisdom. And so this is really shifting our perspective, and we view our difficult experiences as opportunities for our profound personal growth and development rather than just a struggle to overcome. And really finding purpose and meaning in our struggle. So I like to say the greater the struggle, the greater the gift. And as we look at the purpose as the solution, this is really powerful in creating hope and positive change. And the key here is finding meaning and helping other people heal and grow by breaking the cycles of the trauma within your family and discovering meaning in the process of reconnecting with an estranged parent and healing family wounds is an important part of the journey. And when we use our own experience to help other people facing similar struggles and we turn that pain into purpose, this is a powerful way of finding meaning in our life. And we're committing to breaking the cycle of estrangement or alienation in our own family and in our community. And this is crucial for creating lasting change. So, when you find meaning in helping other people and you break your cycles, this is the core purpose of this presentation, if you will, and finding power in the struggle that we're experiencing in our life. Our purpose, the greater the struggle, the greater the purpose, is often found in the struggles that we've experienced, not just as adults, but especially the struggles we've experienced as children. And when we think about the journey of self discovery and the ups and downs of our life, really the awakening is the initial realization that something was amiss in our childhood experiences. And then we start to explore, diving into memories and emotions to uncover the truth about our past. And then acceptance is coming to terms with the reality that maybe we were alienated or we're experiencing estrangement or we have a pathogenic parent or maybe two, and the impact that that has had on our life. And then using that knowledge as a springboard for our personal development and healing. And I just want to emphasize that each of these stages is a crucial part of our self discovery process and how overcoming challenges at each step can lead to profound personal growth and transformation. And as we look at the pyramid here and rebuilding family connections, that at the foundation is unconditional love. And this is the bedrock of healing relationships. And this really means accepting each other without condition. And open communication is next. It's being able to engage in honest, respectful dialogue that addresses the issues. And shared experiences come next. That's creating new positive memories together. And at the top is mutual understanding and developing empathy and acceptance of the different perspectives within the family. Each level of the pyramid really builds upon the previous one, creating a strong foundation for renewed family relationships. And the goal is to work through the elements systematically to really rebuild the connections that were lost in your childhood. And As we're looking at healing through creative expression, there are a few ways as you're going through the process and really embracing the healing power of different ways that you can express yourself creatively. Art therapy can be a powerful tool for expressing emotions and experiencing related feelings of alienation or estrangement or disconnection. And journaling provides an opportunity to process your thoughts and feelings and really document the journey of healing. And music therapy is very helpful to connect with and express emotions that may be difficult to put into words. And these creative modalities offer meaningful ways for you to engage with your inner experiences and finding pathways for healing. And alienation and estrangement and pathogenic parenting, these are all complex and challenging experiences. So it's important for you as an adult to really seek out specialized support. Working with somebody like myself, a coach or a therapist who specializes in healing from this family dynamic, can provide targeted strategies and guidance and really help you navigate the emotional and family dynamics involved. Also, support groups for adults and parents can be incredibly valuable. They offer a sense of community and shared understanding, as well as a safe space to really share your experiences and coping strategies. And we offer the Sovereign Soul Collective, which the link is in the show notes here, that provide you with specialized support in recovering and healing from this family dynamic and really for you as a sovereign soul. So it's called the Sovereign Soul Collective because it's empowering you to do your own inner healing work. And also we have a immersive program called Healing from the Trauma of Unhealed Parents, where I guide you through 5 days of immersive deep healing. The link is also in the show notes. I highly recommend checking it out. We'd love to support you in your healing process. And as we are navigating relationships and thinking about not just maybe reuniting with your parent or parents, but really navigating all of your relationships, self awareness is crucial. Understanding how past experiences have influenced our current relationships is mission critical. And establishing and maintaining healthy boundaries is key. We need to learn what boundaries are appropriate, and we need to be open and vulnerable in our communication. It's vital. Being honest and willing to share our feelings can help rebuild trust. And gradually building trust in relationship is an ongoing process, especially after alienation or estrangement. It requires patience and consistency. And these four elements, self-awareness, boundaries, communication, and trust, they're interconnected and they reinforce each other in the journey of rebuilding a healthy relationship, not just with your parent or parents, but with yourself and other people. So, alienation and estrangement can have a ripple effect, impacting not just the parent child relationship, but connections with grandparents and aunts and uncles and cousins as well. And extended family members may feel compelled to take sides, leading to broader divisions within a family. So, healing often involves intentional work of reconnecting with extended family and rebuilding these crucial support networks. And I know from my own story, my grandfather was the first person to really reach out and build a bond with me before I reunited with my dad. And it was really powerful to have that extended family, the reconnection for the extended family for me, and having my grandfather be a bridge. So, breaking the cycles of parenting after generational trauma is really important, and the central focus on the steps that you can take if you're a parent now. So, if this was from your family of origin and now you're a parent, there are four main areas that really becoming aware of this dynamic and this pattern and communicating openly with your children. So, encouraging relationships with both parents and seeking support when needed. And really, as we go into understanding your family of origin, and especially those of you like me, you're in the in between. You're a child of the family dynamic, and now you're a parent. Having open, honest conversation in both directions is so powerful because it removes you from the split and helps you heal the generational trauma so you don't have to pass it down to the next generation, to your children. And as we are looking at your ongoing journey of healing, the initial awareness stage where you begin to understand the impact of your childhood trauma and how that's impacted not only your life, but the relationships that you have as an adult. Active healing involves engaging in therapy and coaching and self reflection and building those broken relationships. And integration is about incorporating what you're learning into your daily life and the relationships moving forward. And ongoing growth really speaks to the continuous evolution and strengthening of your soul's journey as a sovereign soul, your familial bonds, even after the initial healing process. And it's important to understand that healing from this family dynamic is not linear. It's an ongoing journey. It's a spiral, if you will, and it requires your patience and compassion and continuous effort, not just with people out here, parents and things of that nature, but with yourself, finding that true compassion and loving space for yourself. Be easy on yourself. Have kindness for yourself. This is a spiral, an ascension spiral, if you will, a spiral up into the higher realms of consciousness and understanding. And embracing this new chapter, really, as you're on your healing journey and you're navigating this journey, embrace it and reward yourself for the renewed self, the healed relationships, and the empowered future, really transforming your own life in the process of being traumatized in your childhood to be empowered in your adulthood. And the journey really allows you to integrate your past, rebuild meaningful connections, and find a greater sense of purpose and direction in your life. And I just can't stress enough about how overcoming challenges is part of the process, but it's about empowerment and growth and coming through the healing process as a sovereign soul, as a leader within your own life and in your relationships as an adult. And embracing the connections and the growth that you've had on your healing journey. And I encourage you to really reward yourself and look at yourself and how far you've come and embrace this next chapter. And I also encourage you to remember that everything in your life happens for a reason. And when you look back and you reflect back at the experiences that you've had, that there's an opportunity to take those experiences and turn them into wisdom and help other people heal and grow. And that's what I've done from my childhood experience. I've created the Conscious Co-Parenting Institute, helping parents and families heal, parents and children heal. And then Sovereign Soul Collective, which is our private community at Soul Illumination, bringing people together where we come together live and once a month. And I teach new content every month on really helping you embody and deepen the healing. So if this really resonates with you, please make sure you subscribe to my channel for ongoing insights and guidance. This is a great way for you to continue learning by joining the Sovereign Soul Collective. We go deeper into these lessons. So if this resonates with you, then please join us. The link is in the show notes. And Healing from Trauma of Your Unhealed Parents is an immersive program specifically for adult children of this family dynamic, and it provides really powerful tools for healing. So I encourage you to join our community, maybe take a class, and certainly follow and subscribe here, and make sure you turn on notifications so that you're notified whenever I drop new content. So thanks so much for listening and subscribing. We'll see you in the next lesson.